thing that you have to understand before going to see Far From Home is that you're not going to have the emotional response to this movie that you did to Endgame. And that should be obvious going into it. Now, that doesn't mean that Far From Home is a bad movie. It doesn't mean that Far From Home is an average movie. In fact, it means that it's a more personal movie. It's a movie that's about one singular character, and it's a movie that is better than Homecoming.
Everywhere I go, I see his face. I just really miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too. I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
You gonna be the next Iron Man now?
Well, no, I don't have time. I'm too busy doing your jobs.
What's going on, guys? My name is Rodney, and if you already knew that, thank you so much for coming back to watch another review. And today, we are talking about Spider-Man, Spider-Man does whatever. Spider-Man Far From Home, the sequel to Homecoming. I know everyone's trying to rack their brain around what the third one's going to be called. I got nothing. Yeah, we got everyone back. We got Ned, we got Zendaya, I said Ned, Jacob Batalon, we got Tom Holland, Marissa Tomei, Happy Hogan himself, Jon Favreau, and we have Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. One thing I'll say about this movie right off the bat, going into this movie, I was really excited because we've never seen Mysterio before. Gyllenhaal is a great actor. In the trailers for these movies, he looked a little bit toned down. And all I'll say is, in this role, Jake Gyllenhaal shines. He is fantastic as Mysterio. That really goes for all the other characters in this movie. Tom Holland is the Spider-Man. He's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Zendaya as MJ was perfect. Jacob Batalon, everybody in this movie. Flash Thompson, Tony Ravioli, everyone was great. There is not one weak performance in this movie, and that also includes the direction and the writing. This script was really, really clever. It had a lot to juggle. Things that they had to make sure that they were tying up from previous movies, things that they had to reference for maybe future movies, things that they had to make sure didn't conflict with the beginning of the movie because of the end of the movie. All these things that the writers had to juggle, and they did a very, very good job. The star of this movie, without a doubt, is Jon Watts, the director. This might be one of my favorite directed MCU movies. I don't know if it's in my top 5 MCU movies. It's a little early to tell. It's probably top 10 area, for sure. However, the direction of this movie is just on another level. Hold on. Come on. Up, get up. The direction of this movie is on another level, okay? You could tell in Homecoming, Jon Watts was a little bit by the numbers, John Hughesy feel. This movie, he was really confident. The visual style of this movie is unbelievable. The way he moves the camera around, the use of music, it is a brilliantly directed film. Sam Jackson's also in this movie as Nick Fury, and he is, he's Sam Jackson. He does his thing. Not too over the top, but just funny enough for everything to work. The jokes in this movie are really good. Go ahead. The jokes in this movie are really, really funny. Yeah, the reason that I said in the intro that I like this movie more than Homecoming is because Homecoming felt like a high school movie that had Spider-Man in it. It definitely had a couple Spider-Man moments, but this felt like the first MCU Spider-Man story. You feel bad for Peter Parker. You're like, oh, Pete. It gives you those Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1 and 2 vibes. And that's the whole point of Spider-Man. You root for him, and you root for him to do so well, and you root for him to do good in school, and to get the girl, and to beat the bad guy. And when all the odds are stacked against him, he finds a way to do it. And he does it, but it doesn't come without cost. And I'm not going to get into spoilers here. We're going to do a whole separate spoiler video because this movie deserves it. But if you leave this movie without watching the mid-credit scene, you have seen a completely different movie. Spider-Man Far From Home, obviously, if you have seen Endgame, you've seen this movie. And if you haven't, well, I'm going to spoil Endgame. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, is gone. And we need someone to take the mantle. And with Far From coming out, it should be clear what the MCU wants you to think as it pertains to the leader of the MCU, of the Avengers. Although it's not that simple, again, stay for the after credits. Tony Stark's presence, as made clear by this movie, will be felt throughout every movie. Because if you think about it, and I know the reason we have these movies is because of Kevin Feige and all the producers and the writers and blah, blah, blah. But narrative-wise, the reason we have all these movies is because of Tony Stark. He saved everyone. So it's only natural that he's going to have a strong presence in all these movies, and his presence was felt in Spider-Man Far From Home. Was an amazing movie, an amazing Spider-Man movie. And Sony, if you don't re-up this contract with the MCU, just re-up it, okay? Re-up the contract. I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home a 9 out of 10. Probably top 10 MCU movie. I'm really happy with what I saw. This was the Spider-Man movie I've been waiting for in the MCU. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's my review for Spider-Man Far From Home. Go down in the bio, in the description, and you'll have links to the Instagram, my Twitter. You'll have links to the Patreon, where you could pick what review I do next. You could get full-length commentaries. More of those are coming soon. Now, if you like what you see here, please be sure to subscribe because it is free after all. This is no charge to you.